Welcome to Read Between the Wines, where two bibliophiles discuss our love of the written word from cover to cover and cork to glass. Pour yourself a beverage and join us for this week's episode. Cheers!
Hello. It's me.
Hello, it's me.
Is it me you're listening for?
Those are two different songs. I went Adele.
And I went, is it Lionel Richie? Who is that?
Before my time. I mean, I know it, but
Yeah.
it wasn't AC/DC, so I can't help you. And nor was it Guns N' Roses, so I'm like way out.
Where? I'm over it.
So way out. Anyway,
welcome back.
welcome back to Read Between the Wines, where we drink wine and talk books. Every episode, every time.
So we drank the wine. Let's talk about the books.
Let's talk about the books.
Okay, let's really talk about books. Okay.
Actual books. Books themselves.
Real, hold in your hand,
Real talk.
smell the baby trees books. Okay.
Smell the baby trees.
What do you think books are made out of?
Side note, my child asked if books were only made out of leaves. If paper was only made out of leaves. And I said, my guy, I love this for you, but wait until I tell you what they do to the tree trunk.
That's a horrific story for another day.
It is, but we did go through it on the way to swim team.
But we do love our books.
We do love our books.
Which is probably why, along the lines of this story, the horror, respect for books.
Right?
And where do you draw the line?
trees.
R-E-S-
R-E-S-P-E-C trees.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
I couldn't help it. It popped in. It came out.
That was great. Also not AC/DC.
No.
But
No, but a classic nonetheless.
I was gonna let it slide instead of changing my mind. Okay.
I was going to let it slide too, but I figured I'd let you have that. Yeah, go for it.
Yes. So let's talk about respect for books. So, as a paperback book lover, as a hardcover book lover,
A hardcover lover.
a hardcover lover, I think there's some book etiquette
Yes, even if it's your own dang book.
that goes, but also it's different for each book.
Okay.
There are things I do with a paperback that I would not do for a hardcover. There are things I do with a hardcover that I would not do.
Oh, I am interested.
So,
Because there are certain things I won't do with any book.
and there's those. Okay.
Right.
So, what spurred this topic is I ran into somebody who shall remain nameless, but will forever be ingrained in my heart for this reason, who marks their books by,
Like their place in the book?
yes,
Okay,
so
like
like
bookmarks it.
like a bookmark,
Okay.
but instead of doing a bookmark, I have one right here and I will gently show you.
Okay.
Here, hold
I
this
got
for
you.
me.
I got you.
So instead of putting a bookmark in here, you can see that, and
Okay.
then laying it flat, they lay it like this.
No!
But they force it.
They push it down?
Yeah, so it's like, I'm not going to do it because I cannot bring myself to do it. Cracking the spine,
spine.
the sides, like full on, we'll lay it, we'll shove it down, and I will...
Oh, they pancake that. No.
They're just laying on the counter.
No! And that's how, okay. All right. I can't leave anything on a counter A to save my spot.
Or the
Absolutely
table
not.
or wherever they were reading it.
I've considered, because I had to like get up real fast, like I had to go, oh, I need to drink water. Oh, I need whatever. Like just putting it on like the edge of the couch, like just flipping it over and putting it on the edge of the couch. I can't even do that.
No.
I can't even do that because I'm like, what if it falls down? And then I have to reread. How dare I have to reread things I've already read?
Right?
What if I lose my place and I could never find it again?
I
have to
will
start
never
over?
remember.
No.
No.
No. I even look at the page number and I'm like, 252. Okay. No, I can't. I
Yes.
can't. But also, why would you do that to the book?
I have no idea, but they see nothing wrong with it. I've been over to their house. They'll have a couple because, like us, they do read several books, and they'll be laying flat, pancaked, yes, just wherever. And I'm just, And at that point, there were several that I picked up and put a bookmark in or put a receipt or something
She's
to
fixing them.
try to fix your book, okay? And at that point, it's too late because then
It's
you go
already
to
been-
set it and they're like sprawled up and different, and
Oh my God.
it just hurts my heart.
That hurts everything.
So,
I have so many questions. One, are there no other living beings in their home?
no, I don't think so.
It has to be, because that would never fly in my house. The dog itself would find his way up there, and that book would be, I'd lose my place forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would lose the book. Like, no. Just around the house willy-nilly?
Just hanging out wherever they left it. You just wander along and there's a book pancaked somewhere down the hall. Yeah.
What is it, a Waffle House? It's a Waffle House of books over there. Whoever you are, I hope you hear this and you understand that your Waffle House of books.
You're
is
the
a
Waffle
place
House
of sin.
of books. So I'm very curious. So this like made me think, like, what is the book etiquette? What are people doing for bookmarks? Because I have seen several other things.
I can tell you my favorite bookmark.
What's your favorite bookmark?
Magnetic.
Oh.
God, I'm really into magnetic bookmarks right now.
That way you don't have to worry if
No,
they
I don't
fall.
have to. Again, I have mentioned this a billion times. Y'all know I have children. Things move. Things move. Things get thrown around the house. Not my books necessarily, but a ball or a toy or, God forbid, a child. Someone's flying across my family room at any time. So if that book falls, that bookmark's coming out. Which is an atrocity in and of itself. Like, don't touch my books. But I was recently introduced to magnetic bookmarks. And I have a whole, like, way that I use them, because you can, I mean, when you put the bookmark in, right, it has to go over at least like one side, two sides of a page, right? Because you put it on, you clip it down, and it sticks. So I always put my bookmark on the right side of the book for the left page that I'm reading.
Yes.
Right? So whenever I stop reading, it's either on a chapter.
Yes.
Right? So
I
know if the bookmark's always on the right side. Always the right side.
Yep.
And then I know I'm either reading that page or the page on the left. Like, I know, depending on if it's a new chapter or not, which page I'm reading.
Yep.
Makes it so much easier.
Yes.
So much easier.
I love that.
So magnetic bookmarks are 100% my thing. I don't care how big they are. I don't care how small they are. But I love an actual bookmark.
See, I have plenty of bookmarks. I've bought many a cute one.
Yeah.
I end up using the receipt that I purchased.
I've used $1.
The book.
I'm really good at using $1.
Nice.
I don't know why it's $1, but it's always
like,
a $1 bill.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ever the same $1 bill. But I have used just $1 to stick in there, like I have extra just dollars to put in books.
I'm like, I don't even know where I'd find cash at this point.
Right? Well, you find it sometimes. But I'll throw $1 in, or like like you said, the receipt, or just something. I've used stickers, like, not that are actually sticky, but like the sticker with the back still on it.
Mm-hmm.
I've used those before. It's always a bookmark. But now they have the magnetic ones. It's harder to lose them when you can clip them to the front of your book while you're reading.
Okay. Stickers is a great segue. Let's talk about another bookmark.
Okay.
Folding of the page corners. How do we feel?
Okay, my librarian, when I was a child, told me that if you did that, you were disrespectful to books, so I've never folded a corner.
I mean,
I've never dog-eared a corner. I think we even had posters. I don't know if you had this in your school when you were growing up. In our elementary school, we had posters about not dog-earing pages in books for the library.
I can't say that I remember it from school, but I just could never, because what if you kept reading and like it got folded down again somehow because it was already folded and it just went back to its folded position, and then you had to fold another one.
Right, and now you have two folds.
And now you're like, where am I?
Right, which fold is mine?
Where am I in this?
Oh.
Yes.
Also, if you're as soon as you fold that top corner, every time you fold the top corner, your top of your book is wider than the bottom of your book. And we can't have that. We can't have that.
You're slowly making it
worse. I'm pointing out all the reasons that it's terrible.
You're just making it worse.
Yes.
So I looked up online. I was like, okay, clearly, like, people are doing some crazy shit with marking their books. And
I feel like I'm not going to like any of this.
No, you're not.
Okay, well, bottoms up, because good Lord.
Let's
do it. I'm going to need a segue.
You're going to need it. So people are marking their books, which I do not understand this. So they're physically drawing a little design of some sort in the bottom corner.
Of the page?
Yes.
But then I have to like flip book it through to find it.
And how do you know
Which one?
if you're reading in several bits, which mark was your most good? Like, do you go searching through every
Right?
time?
Do you have a rainbow system where every time you finish a color, you go to the next color in the rainbow? That's so many pens.
And why are we writing in books? Okay, I was not one to even write in a textbook.
Oh, God, no.
So do you highlight? Do you underline? Do you write notes in the edges? Is
There
this
is
a thing?
there is one book
Yeah.
that I will underline and write in. There's one book that I will do that in. It is Big Magic.
Ah,
And
yes.
it's because when I received my copy, it had some notes in it already from a previous reader, and I loved that.
Yes.
But I will not write in a regular... I'm not writing in a fiction book. I'm not writing...
No.
I'm usually not writing in a self-help book. If I'm writing, I actually have done the thing where I have a journal. I have a journal for writing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a journal where I will write down notes for what I'm reading if it's really something that I need, right? If I'm putting it into practice, I'm going to need more than a margin.
Yes.
And so I have a notebook that I keep next to my reading chair that I will use to keep notes in because I won't write in the book. Because what if I give it to somebody? I don't want someone else to see my thoughts.
But I love getting books.
Yes.
I love used books that have writing in them.
That's great.
Because then it lets me, I'm like, oh, they found this helpful.
Right.
They really enjoyed this. They underlined this. And I'm not judging them for it.
No, but I love that.
But I won't do that.
Right, but I will do it, like I said, in the Big Magic book. It's
Yeah.
the only one I'll do it in. And I found it very interesting that there were certain parts that, because I think there were 2 readers before me. There was 2 readers and then me. Because there's three colors in there. There's a blue, there's black, and there's me who's orange. And so it's fun to see how they both read the book differently. Now I don't know them, right?
Right.
I don't know where they are in life. I don't know anything. But it's fun to see how they both read it and what they found compelling compared to what I found.
Yeah, like what sparked something for them.
And so there are certain things that I was like, oh, I get to underline this by myself because I found it important. And then there were other parts where I was like, yep, I'm adding my underline to this one because I also found it interesting.
Yes.
So that was really cool. But I am not one who will go, I will never, like I said, never in a fiction book.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm not annotating something in there.
It'll have to be extra special in a self-help book.
There's a whole, I don't know, set of people who like sticky note, right?
Yes.
They use the little tabs, they tab them.
Yes.
And I actually just watched a video on this the other day because I was like, I don't understand because I don't tab things. And they're like, oh, like this is a spicy part, so spicy gets pink. And this is like a really great quote, so it gets green. And so they're not writing anything, they're just putting sticky notes all over the book and the parts.
To color code to
color code different parts that they enjoyed.
Are they going back to these parts? Because I'm not. I'm definitely
not going back either. But I assume that they are because it's like, oh, I loved this book and I know it had some great quotes. Let me pull some quotes out of this book.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Like if that's how you're reading your book, but I like the little like see-through ribbon sticky notes. I don't know what those are called.
Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah, the tiny ones.
Yep.
So they'll do that with a bunch of different colors. And so that's why people have like they have a whole book and then they have their sticky notes on the front and even things that you can buy that stick those on there. Cool. I can't do that.
No.
Also, if I'm giving my book away,
right?
I have to take all my sticky notes out.
Right?
And
you've just wasted all those.
I can't reuse those. I have a sticker problem anyways.
But also, if you're putting those in there, they're making your book fatter.
Yes, it is the same.
They're adding girth.
It is the dog-eared dilemma.
Yes. The dog-eared dilemma.
The dog-eared dilemma.
The dog-eared dilemma of summer. It's happening.
That's summer 2024. Goodness. But no, I can't. I can't.
Oh.
But also, might I point out that you and I are very much rule followers.
Yeah.
In the sense of we will do things the way, and I am speaking for you in this one.
Yes.
We will do things that are expected in the way that we handle our books.
Yes.
Right? And so if somebody were to come up and be like, hey, I have 2, not 1, but 2. This seems to be a theme from episode to episode. I have 2 of the burn after writing journals. Ask me how many I burnt. 0. Ask me how many I've written in. 0, because I know once I'm done, I'm supposed to burn it.
You're supposed to burn it, and I just can't.
I can't. I have a blue one and a black one, and I never been used. So if anyone wants them, let me know.
Also, on that thought, when you're writing in your journal, and maybe you're doing like a full moon release, and then you write them down, and you're supposed to rip out your page.
There's a different notebook.
I can't rip them out because then I'm gonna have jagged edges.
Nope. I use a different paper altogether.
But I have to know that I'm gonna be ripping it out because if I'm just journaling and then the instructions are like, and now you're gonna
take
rip it out, I'm like,
read ahead. Nope. I know if I'm doing, if it's called a full moon release, something's
That's
getting
true.
burnt. Something's getting burnt.
I should know better.
So no, it's just something that I just assume because that's how I release things. Other people use water. Other people use just the release of energy, whatever it is. I burn shit.
Yes.
And I will. I'm fire. You and I are both fire signs, but I'm a little more chaotic. So obviously, so I know I'm burning it. Yeah. So I have a notebook that's just for paper that I know burns well because I've used paper that doesn't burn well, and that is upsetting.
And that's not fun when you're trying to release.
Right. And the other day I did one and I folded the paper up and I lit it on fire and I was like, all right, we good. And it just kept burning for 40 minutes.
Oh my God. And you're like, I would like to release you now.
I took it outside and sat on the front porch and waited for it to burn because I was like, maybe inside my house is a poor choice. So I went out to the front step and just let it burn in its little cup.
And you were waiting.
And I waited, which was actually probably what was needed because I sat there outside in the setting sunlight and watched the fireflies. So honestly... Probably. Thanks, but whatever. Choose the right paper when you burn shit. Don't burn books. Also, don't burn books.
Don't burn books. Not cool.
No.
Okay, so moving on to how you read different books. Okay, here. Hold this again. I'm going to do this gently.
I'm so worried.
Because...
if you do what I think you're going to do...
I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm going to show you a little bit and you're going to have to visualize.
This is for paper. I'm guessing this is for paperback books only.
Paperback.
I know what you're going to do and I hate it already.
I can't do it. But
Nope.
This is as far as I'm bending it. Yep. But they will bend it fully back.
Yep. So that the
spine is broke. Like I can't, you're just going to have to use your imagination.
Right.
But we're going.
You can,
we're going all the way. Like, and it's going like all the way to where this is touching the back cover.
I'll do it with word searches.
Yes.
So if it's an activity book, if it's a coloring book, if it's an activity book, yes.
Those are different covers. Those aren't real books.
No, if it is...
those aren't real books.
She didn't mean it. No, I won't do it for a reading book.
No. But I have seen many people.
I have seen it done on really old books at the beach. Like it's a really weathered book and it's not staying open anyway. Yeah. And it's windy, whatever. Like I've seen that happen. I have less of a judgmental eyeball for that one because like you're just trying to survive out here on the beach. But on a regular basis?
No, I won't be the first one. And when you go to a used bookstore and you see all the spines with the stripes, like you know how those were read. But honestly, I could get by with returning mine as unread.
Right.
Because there's not a crack on the spine, there's not a crack on the front.
And I think it matters in how big the book is.
Oh, that too.
Because I actually right here, I have this one right here, and you can see the spine on this one. I didn't do anything. Look at the spine.
Yep.
But I didn't. You can't even see it right here, but there are little lines all on the spine. But this is an 800-page book.
Yeah, right. You can't open that without cracking it.
Right, and this one, as soon as you open it at all, it's automatically you're pulling that.
Yeah.
Right. So once you get to the middle, you have to. If I want, unless I want to read it.
Oh yeah.
Unless I'm reading literally like under my covers again, like I'm 4, like. I can't. You have to open it.
Yeah.
And so no matter, like sometimes it can't. But I'm not folding the cover all the way over.
No.
What are you going to fold this book for?
No.
What are you going to fold? Like,
why?
No.
Why are you doing that?
Don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Don't do it.
Respect the books.
Right. And so no, don't flip the cover over.
Yeah.
How do you feel about hardcover book jackets?
Oh, I was just about to bring that up.
Oh, good.
I was just about to. I remove them.
Oh, I do not. I use them as a bookmark.
But how do you not crease them?
What do you mean crease them?
The spine. How are you?
No. I leave the book jacket on and then I use the flap as the bookmark.
Oh.
So the front flap becomes the bookmark for the front half of the book. The back flap becomes the bookmark for the back half of the book.
Oh, no. That was nice. That was smooth. We like that. No. I remove it and set it off to the side because...
oh, I will lose it.
It will move around. It'll shift. I don't want to... I don't know what you would call it, but like when you cut the bottom or whatever, like if it gets... stuck, like you get those little tears in the bottom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's getting stuck, like it shifts, you know?
Yep.
Because they're not on there very well. They're just kind of hanging out. I remove them. I remove them while I'm reading. I put them back on to put them back on my shelf.
Okay, well we're gonna show exactly what I do with these because I have them right here.
Okay.
In my hopefully
in your stack.
In my stack. So So,
Yep.
your turn.
Let me get this.
So you can actually see it right here. I have my Diana Gabaldon. This is the most recent of the Outlander series.
Okay.
And my book thing.
Ah.
That's my bookmark. And it stays there.
So
Right?
what happens when you get to like middle of the book and
I will use the bookmark.
Okay.
So I will take this back out. I'm going to save my spot. I don't know why, because I haven't read this book. You know what? You saw it here. We're going to lose our spot because I haven't read this book in years and I need to start it over. But when I will put it back this way.
Oh, and
then
use
I
a
will use a regular bookmark in the middle.
when it gets to be too big.
When it gets to be too big for my book cover. But I always leave it on because I will lose this book cover. If the book cover comes off, the book is dead.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And fun fact, a lot of used bookstores will not buy books back without the jacket cover on it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, they have to have the cover,
You
the
can
paper cover.
Tell I don't really sell books back to used bookstores. I should.
I've been warned of it. I don't usually sell my books back either. And leave them places.
What have you been warned about? Yes, I know.
Oh, like when I buy them.
Who's warning you?
When I buy them, or like when I buy used books or whatever, I will buy used books. And of course, their thing is like, hey, also we buy books back. So if you want to bring these back, just make sure they have the book cover on them.
No one ever tells me that.
Do you buy from used bookstores?
I don't know. I buy from little bookstores.
Okay. So maybe not.
Probably not.
Yes.
Side note, this is a cute book you should read.
I love the cover.
It's about it's Hansel and Gretel after they push her into the oven.
Okay.
It's what happens as adults.
Okay.
It's cute. And I bought it at a local bookstore.
Yes.
Here, that apparently does not sell used books because I can't give it back. So if you want it.
Oh, yes.
It's called, for those who didn't see it because I was waving it around like a maniac, it's called After the Forest. It's by Kell Woods, Kell Woods. But it's dang adorable.
Yeah, super cute.
It is a good palate cleanser.
Okay.
Right?
That's what I'm in the market for.
I will put it onto the shelf with all the other ones that I'll probably end up touching here in a minute again.
And then I will remove the jacket and
I will never know and it will be fine.
And I will read it and I will put it back on. I will get it dressed again. Right? Yes. Yes.
But I can't trust myself to leave the book off and not mar the cover.
I'm afraid I'm going to mar the cover if I leave it on.
That's funny because I'm afraid I'm going to ruin the book itself. And I'm not doing anything with the cover anyway, so if I ruin it, it's fine.
Right.
If I nobody's going to care. It's
it's your book anyway.
Right. Also, I need to add that book to my Goodreads.
Yes.
Remind me.
Yes. It needs to go on the list.
Right. I'm like, dang it.
But yes, I think it's kind of like when you're driving a new car and you get that first scratch.
Oh, good Lord.
You know?
And when it's not
like
your fault,
you know
it's gonna happen.
that you did that.
Right?
That's because of you. And I think that's why I have so much. I don't want to be the first one to crease a book. I don't want to be anybody to crease a book, okay?
You're going to love my books then because they've all look like they've been read.
Right?
But not because I'm disrespectful with them. It's just because
my books do not look like they've been read.
Your girl has meat hands. I mean, I'm touching the book.
I will read the first couple pages at like a 90-degree angle.
No!
So that I don't get that first crimp.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not
I
me.
won't.
You're better than I am. I cannot.
I mean, if they are used and worn, because I love buying used books, so if they're used and worn, I'm a little more comfortable with them.
Here's a book that was given to me to read.
Yes.
This book was read by one person.
Oh my.
And while I care about this one person deeply, did you read it in a desert during a storm? What happened?
Yeah. How are we crinkling it? And how do you...
I think it may have gone on several trips, so in and out of the bag, right?
How does this happen?
But the pages, I will tell you, the pages are not marred. The pages are fine.
Okay.
They're not marked. They're not...
They used a bookmark like a human.
Dog-eared, right? They're fine. It's just the cover itself is a wee bit battered. Like many of us in our outsides being battered. You know? Your girl's got stretch marks, so does this book.
Yes.
Right? We can't take away from the greatness of the book because of its stretch marks.
This is true.
I don't have to be the one that gives it to him.
I almost said you can't judge a book by its cover.
I do judge a book,
but we do
every book by its cover.
So you can.
And here's the thing: I can prejudge a book by its cover, and I am willing to be proven wrong.
I mean,
I'm willing to be proven wrong.
9.5 times out of 10, I'm right though.
Well, of course.
On my book covers,
right?
I'm not. We're excluding people. We're not getting
Oh,
into
yeah.
that.
No. We're not talking about things with brains. Absolutely not. We're talking about the things that people with brains have created.
Yes, exactly. But most of the time, although this is a little off topic, but I think people know now that I think authors know that people are attracted to bright colors
Oh, yeah.
and shiny things because
Yep.
now I'm going in and there's a ton of neon books.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the cartoon font
Mm.
writing.
I like the font that's like raised a little bit on the book cover.
Yeah.
I love
They
the
know.
texture.
They know what we're looking for.
Right.
And they're all doing it. And I'm like, ooh, this looks like a good one. And I pick it up and I look. Oh, this is a terrible story and I will not read this book, but dang you.
Do you read the back cover, the inside cover before you pick up a book?
I look at the cover and then I try to find the synopsis. So now sometimes the back is just reviews.
Right, so I have to go to the inside
So you
cover.
have to go to the inside cover. So I try to find the little synopsis.
Do you read the whole synopsis?
I skim the synopsis.
I read the first paragraph and a half, maybe. And if it has grabbed enough of my attention, book is mine.
Huh.
Or at least book makes it onto my list.
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting.
My absolute dream in life is to receive a birthday gift where I'm given X amount of minutes in a bookstore and as many books as I can carry are what I get to take home.
Oh, that'd be dangerous.
Your girl's got big arms.
A minute for every year of your birth.
Oh my God, I would bankrupt everyone.
How would that? That would be so awesome.
That'd be amazing. It's a great 40th birthday gift.
I'm just saying.
Right?
It's a good one.
Right? I don't hate that.
We'll all just go stand up at the book counter and be like, all right, whatever she gets, we're all splitting.
It's one, whatever, you know what?
It's from all of us.
It by 8.
It's from all of us.
But honestly, like,
that would be amazing.
The dream, A. But that's a lot of the times how I come home with books that I didn't expect to see.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge fan of the bargain book section.
Yep.
So our Barnes & Noble has like 3 shelves of bargain books, and some are activities, and some are like fiction, and some are, spiritual, and some are whatever.
Yes.
I peruse them all the time.
Yeah.
I will come home with at least 2 books from there every single time.
I mean, because when they're cheaper, it's so easy to spend. That's why I love used books.
The book annex, $5.
Yes.
$5 for a hardcover.
I love a $5 book.
Right?
I love those.
That's where I get some of my like classic ones too. Am I reading Pride and Prejudice over and over again? No. Am I reading the complete works of, Charles Dickens? No. Do I absolutely love my, Canterbury Tales? Yes. Yes, I love it.
And when you get those in hard copy, they look great on the shelf.
Right? And the ones that like all come, they're all made by the same publisher.
Yes. And they match. We love it. We
They're
love a
different colors,
matchy
but they're that,
matchy.
like ornate.
You know they go together. Yeah.
I have a Dracula copy. Okay. I have a Dracula copy that's super, I'll show it to you, it's downstairs. Super old, like falling apart. One of my favorite books that I have in my collection.
Yeah.
It's old, and it's like if you look at it wrong, it's probably gonna fall apart. It smells like an old book.
Yes.
Oh, and it's Dracula. Come on.
Yes.
You can't get better.
Yes. Yeah. We respect those.
Mm-hmm. They've seen their day.
They have, and we love it.
They've had their time.
Yes. So what about you? What else have I not covered?
Right? I'm trying to think of things that I've
Icks.
seen. Right? Ick.
Can you
Icks.
think of any other book Icks?
A ton of them. I have a hard time when you have like a tiny book. You know how you have like regular sized books? Okay, so there's regular sized books, there's oversized books, and then there's like tiny pocket sized books. And I don't actually mean pocket sized. I mean like 5-inch books.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be a real book.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to read that without ruining it?
Right.
Again, I have the hands of an ogre. What do you expect me to do? I'm trying to thumb through this like I'm opening stickers with my eyes shut. I can't figure out how to read this. So quit making books tiny. Right. Because if you make the book tiny, then the font seems to be tiny, which I know it's not. So you have to make the font bigger.
But they're not going to make it bigger because then that's just awkward.
Then the book is fat and tiny.
Yes.
And that's not fitting anywhere that I need it to fit.
Size matters, people.
Size matters. And it doesn't fit on my shelf nicely.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had to turn you sideways and find a bunch of books that look like you put sideways.
Put a candle on you.
Right? I'm like, you're about to become like a doorstop. We gonna find a different use for you.
I'm gonna keep perusing. If
know
I
what?
see you on the shelf, I'm gonna move on by.
I will leave that book somewhere. That
Yep.
is a book I will leave.
That's a book
That
you
is a
will
book I
leave.
will leave because you don't have a place on my shelf. I can't put you in there.
Can't do it.
I can't do it. I do also, which I've seen happen more and more recently, when you have a series and they have made the third or fourth book bigger than all the other ones.
Oh, I don't know.
Why
what
did you
that's
make it a
about.
different height?
Why? Why are we doing that?
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Or you've changed the cover art. So when all of their spines are together, they look gorgeous, and then something doesn't add up. Because you've added a flourish to the last one that wasn't in all the others. So I have, Bland Barb for 4 books, and then I've got Snazzy Steve on book number 5. I don't want that.
Yes.
It's either all Snazzy Steve or all Bland Barb. Don't screw it up.
Oh, but then also, if you don't buy the set that way and you're picking up a book at a time, then you're like,
right now.
You're like, they're either all going to have to be paperback or they're all going to be hardcover, which is tough when you're buying them used.
Yes.
Because I'll see the book and I'm like, shit.
That's it. That's all I
already have 2 paperbacks. I can't. I have to leave this one because it's hardcover.
And then you have to decide, do I want to read it bad enough right now?
Yes.
Or wait. So I'm in the middle of that with this Crescent City series.
Yeah.
So the book I just showed you, the Crescent series book, is paperback.
Yeah.
I have book 2 paperback. Book 3 just came out in January, hardback only. I've called so many places and they're like, yeah, it's probably not going to come out in paperback until next year. Next year? You expect me to wait a whole year to read book 3?
The book is done. Why are we not printing this way?
Commercialism. But
Hashtag commercialism.
Hashtag commercialism. Hashtag money talks. Same thing with the Emily Henry book.
Yes.
I think I have one Emily Henry that is hardcover. Everything else is softcover.
Paperback, yeah.
Which means I can actually probably buy the hardcover one since I already have one that's hardcover and they can just bookend.
They can go together,
Yes, but still.
But once you start that, you're committed.
Right? Now I'm screwed.
You're committed.
Now I'm screwed.
Yeah, and you do. You're like, do I need this bad enough that I'm going to read it now? And then I'll buy the paperback so that I have matching trophies.
Right. I'm on book 2 of Crescent City because I was like, oh, I loved the first one. Let's continue reading. Hi, I'm going to finish this and want to read book 3 immediately.
And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going hard copy?
I'm going to buy the damn book, and then eventually I'm either going to get 2 hardcovers of the first 2, or I'm going to wait and get a paperback of the last one. I'm going to pay $40 in books.
Yep.
For 1 book.
For the same book.
Right? Or do I
buy it? So
buy
you have a matching set.
Do I buy it on, which we'll talk about in a minute, do I buy it on digital copy and then just buy the, like, why?
And just
at that
buy
point,
it
I'm not
later, yes.
There are so many things to talk about here.
There are so many.
So many things. Just respect your books, people.
Respect your books. But I would love to know, are there any books, any book icks you have?
Right.
What that maybe we didn't cover? Maybe there's something you do.
Right.
And
you're like,
it's
not an ick.
Don't be embarrassed. Share them with us.
We
would love to know.
Tell us why we're wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
and then we'll decide if
we're
agree.
Rule followers. We just don't. Like, we just don't.
If you show me what right looks like, I can.
But show us what you're doing.
Right.
And then we'll decide if it's an ick or not.
Right. I can't.
But we support any way you read books. Just read the books. But no, for us, you're going to get a pristine copy if you borrow it.
Right, it's going to be a great copy. As good as a book from my house can be.
Exactly.
Right? I can't promise perfection.
Yes.
But I can promise that it's going to be in a great...
Yes.
I read them in a way that I know if I love it, I want someone else to read it.
Exactly. That you want it to be shared. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's the way I read my books.
Exactly.
Don't dog ear those books, though. I'm pretty sure those posters haunt my nightmares. And I'm pretty sure it was a picture of a dog with like an ear cocked over, which is funny because I had a dog who had an ear cocked over in real life.
Yes.
He wasn't bothered, but don't do it to your books.
But don't do it to your books because they are bothered.
Because they're bothered, and you're gonna have a top-heavy book.
Nobody wants that.
She's gonna be 2 C's thick on the top.
She's gonna be 2 C's thick on the top and no C's thick on the bottom.
Right?
She's gonna be.
little top heavy. Your girl's falling over.
She's top heavy.
Right?
Yeah, just don't do it. But let us know.
Exactly.
We'd love to hear it.
And we will see you on the next one. So,
bye.
Bye.
That's a millennial thing.
It was great to have you join us for today's chat. If you'd like to continue the conversation, provide a recommendation, or simply say hi, pop over to Instagram at wine.read.wine. Also, if you're the review type person, we'd love for you to subscribe and leave us an honest review on your favorite podcast player. Or leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next episode. Happy reading!